Welcome to the Imperfect Dads podcast. This is your host, Devin. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. On this episode, we have on Stephanie Mayers from Mayers Consulting. Stephanie is a publicist that focuses on family entertainment and music. She's been the connection point for a lot of guests I've had on this year, including Mega Ran, Justin Roberts, Go Banana Go, and Bugfriend. After talking to her so much about her clients, I thought it'd be really fun to have her on the podcast. For Stephanie's life, we talked about deciding when to let your kids have a phone, making family horror movies together, and remembering her mom who passed away recently. In regards to her career, we talked about how much family music has evolved since she started working in the industry, how she chooses the musicians she represents, realities of being a publicist, and how it takes up her mental space. And also just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, Stephanie, welcome to an episode of The Imperfect Dads. I appreciate you taking the time to do a call with me.
I'm flattered to be here. Thank you so much.
Of course. Most basic, easy first question is always, how many kids you got, ages, all that good stuff.
Sure. I have two daughters. They are 10 and 16.
What's it like to have a 16-year-old daughter? My oldest is only 9. And like, for some reason, 16 to me is like the age where I'm terrified, even though I have no idea why, but it already scares me.
It's complicated. It's
honest.
really great,
Yes.
but comes with a different level of parenting challenges and patience. You know, there's the patience that you have for a little kid because you're bearing with them and their limitations and what they're physically able to do and what they're mentally able to do. When you get to the teenagers, it's a little bit more of the mentally what they're able to do. And I think you see this like full-size person in your house and you think they should already know how to XYZ.
Yeah.
And they don't. And it's frustrating and you have to check yourself and remember you're still teaching them how to be a person. So there's a lot of like, why don't you know how to handle the situation? Oh, you just don't really know how to be a full person yet. A lot of like the social stuff, especially teenagers and socials is the biggest, biggest challenge by far, the social life.
Does your daughter have like a cell phone and have like social media and all that stuff?
Yes, we caved during the pandemic. She was 12. And we felt that she needed a chance to be able to connect with other kids because we were also isolated. So we got her a cell phone then. And we did limit social media for quite a while. Slowly rolled into her having access to some of that. I still do limits on her phone. But yeah, it's tough. They live on it. And, they talk through the apps. So if you limit the app and then she can't communicate with her friends because that's where they're all talking. And I know they do that on purpose, I'm sure.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Anyway, but it's also beautiful because there's this person who's this full person who, still comes to you for hugs and snuggles and support and guidance. And it's really beautiful and lovely.
That's awesome. Now, it's my oldest daughter is 9. And so I have a 9-year-old daughter, 7-year-old daughter, and 4-year-old son. And like, I still remember being like a teenager and there weren't really any regulations or any limits on anything. So I could have sat on AOL chat talking to strangers until 1 a.m. and we totally did.
Which we totally did.
And I'm not surprised whenever, like, as a parent, I'm already like, okay, whenever my daughter gets a cell phone, which still holding out for as long as I can, it's like, who do you want her to talk to? I'm like, oh, I know what monsters exist out there. So I'm going to be paying attention to a lot of this.
Yeah, my 10-year-old, I'm definitely holding back on her getting a cell phone. Her emotional maturity is just not there. And I don't see her being able to edit herself and know how to handle the socials of being online as well.
Yeah.
I just know she's nowhere near ready.
Yeah. And also I know a lot of adults that aren't ready, but somehow still have all the socials.
That's so true.
And all the things where I'm like, hey, I'm just going to point this out there. I can see your likes and your comments, right? Just so you know, other people are aware of what you're doing.
That's so, that's what I was, when we first started with social media with my teenager, there's just so much posting things that I would never post.
Yep.
And I felt it as being this like attention seeking behavior.
Yeah.
And I have to wrap my head around that this is what they all do. But I'm like, I don't post selfies of myself all the time, just puckering in the mirror. Wouldn't be received very
You're
well.
not? Yeah. It's just like, yeah.
If I ever post a picture of myself, there's probably a pretty damn good reason. But it's tough because their life is so different than what ours was. I mean, ours was hide everything, don't say anything. My parents never knew where I really was.
Yes. Or like posting a picture for some reason, like posting a picture on MySpace as like a teenager had a very different vibe than this. Like, I don't even, could you even like photos on MySpace? Like, I don't feel like you got the same dopamine hits from posting on like MySpace or Zanga and LiveJournal and all those things that like.
I was already in college when all that was like happening. And I was just nowhere near. Like we had the AOL instant messenger. In college, it was cool because you had like Ethernet. So you could leave that open all the time and just be able to chat somebody like 24/7.
Yes.
Which felt so cool. But I didn't have a cell phone. Yeah. And it was the journey of how this has all evolved is pretty fascinating.
I still remember I have a brother who's 6 years older than me. And whenever he was a freshman in college, he had to take his computer to somewhere on campus so they could put an Ethernet card in his computer so he could get online, versus a miniature computer in our phone at all times. We get furious when it's not connected to the internet.
I mean, yes. I remember when I got my first BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Like I was working for a company in the city and they made me take one. I was like, I don't want this. I don't know what to do with this. I was like, what else can I do on here? It was so, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, just give me the flip phone.
Just give me that. This makes more sense. Why do I need the internet? I don't need to be accessed at all times.
You couldn't even really access the internet it was just for email. True. Like it sucked. Yeah. BlackBerry sucked. You couldn't like go shopping on there or anything.
No, you couldn't. So my other fear of like giving my oldest a cell phone is how would I explain to the other two younger kids I have, she gets it, but you don't. How do you feel like you handled that?
I think I just said that you're not ready yet. You're not old enough. You're not mature enough yet. And, I'm a little bit of a hard ass.
Okay. Yeah.
As a parent, like, that's it.
Cool.
For them, yes. For you, no. Your time will come. It sucks. I'm the little sister, so I know how much it sucks to be the little sister and how much it sucks to wait, even though my big sister would tell you that for me, they broke all the rules and let me do everything sooner than for her. And and she still holds a grudge against it.
Of course.
She's my best friend. It's fine. But I mean, they're such different kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Insanely different kids. I can't even believe how different they are.
Mm-hmm.
Two girls. Completely opposite. Yeah. Little one, so far from ready. Will she get it when she's 12? I don't know. Not if things don't change much.
Yes.
From where we're at now. She's 10, so she's this walking that line between little kid, big kid.
Mm-hmm.
But she still leans little kid, even though she's got the big sister and sees all that stuff that she wants to be doing. And what's crazy is in our township, high school starts in 7th grade.
What?
It goes 7 to 12.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. My husband was like, that's not weird because his was the same way, but
sure,
not
of
mine.
course. Mine
I'm
was
like, it was 9 to 12.
Yeah.
So you get these 12-year-olds in school with 18-year-olds.
Okay.
Which scared the crap out of me when my older daughter went. So I'm like, they're doing things that you don't even know exist, and you're maybe still playing with Barbies, covertly, after school. So I'm looking at my 10-year-old and I'm like, man, in 2 years, she's at the high school and that freaks me out. And in 2 years, my 16-year-old is gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Which lucky you still got time so you can, process it and get all ready for that.
We're already like calendaring things and I'm like, oh my God, like we're already talking, the summer, which is the summer leading into the senior year. And we need to start college visits and we need to start SATs. And I'm not there mentally and I just don't feel emotionally ready.
No. Are you, where are you located? Are you in New York? Is that right?
We're just outside Manhattan in New Jersey.
Cool.
I live like on the Jersey side, right on top of the Lincoln Tunnel, basically.
Cool. Are you hoping like whenever you start to do college visits, starting getting into that mental space, do you hope she stays like in the New England Northeast area? Or are you like more just like wherever you want to go, let's figure it out later?
Out loud, I say wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
I asked her because she kind of doesn't really know what she wants. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's start like radius. Like, how far do you think you want to be? And she was like, I don't think more than 3 hour drive away. And I was like,
Okay.
great. Okay. That's
Okay.
pretty easy for me to,
I can comprehend
start
that.
thinking.
Yeah.
Cause like I went to Pittsburgh when I was from Philly, and that was like 5 hour drive. And it was a lot. I was
It
just,
is.
I got home when I got home,
Yeah.
if I could hitch a ride with somebody or my parents wanted to make that long drive. But that's a long drive. So
It
3 hours,
is.
I think, is a good limitation.
Yeah. I went, I'm from Southern Indiana and I went to college in Nashville, and that was like a 2.5 hour drive. So it was like far enough away in which like you didn't want to do it every day, but if you needed to, it's not that bad of a drive. And that was 2 to 3 hours was a good marker.
Yeah, that's great. My niece just went off to college for the first time, and she's only 45 minutes from my sister, which is
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So she can
Yeah.
pop down on the weekend and have lunch with her. She can come
Yeah.
home whenever she wants. And maybe it's like too close, but it's like in a different state and it feels far enough away.
Sure. Yeah. 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 That's awesome. I know one thing I didn't think about whenever I started having kids was like how much birth order matters. Like the maturity level between the two of them is drastically different. And I'm always like, is this personality? Is it birth order? What is this? The third born, we're still figuring out what the heck he wants and what he is because he's only 4. But yeah, like my firstborn, I could see myself trusting her with a cell phone within the next 4 years. My second born, probably not.
Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea if it is birth order or just their personalities. But like I said, like my older one, she's kind of quiet,
Mm-hmm.
but very like, but she's a theater kid. She was the
What?
lead in the spring musical last year.
Okay.
So like she can be this kind of like reserved, sweet little thing, but she can also do that, which
Yeah.
I could never ever do.
No.
And then my younger one is anything but quiet.
Mm-hmm.
She's my like OCD, ADHD, talks mile, a million miles a minute kid who is just, or just constantly, it's like she makes you dizzy,
Yeah. 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 Yep.
and they're just so drastically different.
Yeah. My firstborn, I think, would be happy to sit at home and read books or do Legos or do something that's like more introspective or calm. And my second one is like in soccer, runs around constantly, always trying to figure out which friend in the neighborhood is available to play with. And I'm like, this is just drastically different energy. And it's like you switching between talking to the two of them sometimes is like tiring because it's such
Yeah,
different energy.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about like your job and your career and like what all you do. Cause like, it's interesting. You said if your daughter is willing to do performances, but you seem you're more like, don't put me on the stage. Like I'll stay in the wings and the background and all that. But your job is dealing with a lot or helping out a lot of performers and people who are willing to get on stage. So tell me about your job, your career, all that good stuff.
Sure. I'm a publicist and booking agent specializing in family music. So artists who create music for kids and families, not kids that are performers. I'm a huge music fan. That's how I got into the industry. I was undeclared in college trying to figure out what to do with my life.
Mm-hmm.
I found music promotion was an opportunity. Did a couple internships, did an internship in London, kind of just fell in
Cool.
love with it. I fell into the kids space by chance, working at a music venue. We started doing family programming. I kind of discovered that world and went with it. And that was 20 years ago. So I worked for record labels, I worked for artists, and then 10 years ago I started my own company. And I've been incredibly lucky to work with, I think, what is some of the top talent out there creating for modern families. Really diverse music, really incredible independent acts, some larger names I've got to work with. And I think I've found this very interesting niche that I get to live in.
Yeah. I think the biggest compliment I can give you is that you have found artists where I, as a parent, don't hate listening to the music. Like if they're like, hey, I want to listen to Go Banana Go, I want to listen to Justin Roberts, I'm like, oh, good. This is good stuff. As opposed to, we didn't do a lot of Coco Melon, but like if it ever came up on the kids want to listen to it, I was like, please no. Like I'm going to ban this music.
It's tough. Kids' music has this terrible stigma.
Mm-hmm.
And media doesn't give the independent community a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my plight is to break through and get mainstream media or music media or parenting media to pay attention to the independent family music creators out there, to raise their profile so that people know about it and know that that's an option to listen to if it's not, if they don't live in your town, or if you're not listening to one of the kids' radio shows, you probably have never heard of a lot of these bands because they're not living on massive platforms like Coco Melon and some other larger brands or artists. So it's a challenge, and it's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Just as the rest of the media universe is, and to where people can discover things and how you can be seen. My job has evolved exponentially. When I first started, I was making little press kits for people and folders and printing things out, and the mailers. Oh my gosh, the mailers that I would have to do.
Gosh, yeah.
And, even go back 10 years ago, everybody who was maybe reviewing children's music or would consider it, those are all gone. Some people who were doing it, their kids aged out and they stopped covering it. So they stopped doing whatever they were doing. A lot of the larger media outlets, because they've all been cut, they just don't have the space for it anymore. Some of the places that do, they only want to talk about the big brands.
Yeah.
So my challenge is really finding the opportunities to break through. I think booking is a huge part of it, getting families out to see these people live. But I'm so devoted to it. And it's so hard because it's extremely challenging.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah, because like before looking at like your list of artists that you have on it, like, it was just whatever movie the kids were into. What was the new Disney movie? What was all that? That's basically how I would listen to kids' music, was media that had it as part of the storytelling of it. And, of course, like the random like bands I listened to where the lead singer is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make a kids album because I'm tired of the kids' music that's out there. Sure. But I can think of like 3 musicians who have done that. And that was like when their kids were little. So no, I can't imagine because if you're a media company and you start losing staffing, it's going to be the pop kids music type stuff, not like, hey, here's this niche guy in Chicago who's making some really intentional and sweet songs.
Right. Or I'll get, it's all about relationships. So I'll get a writer who I've worked with before and they'll be like, you know what, the last one we did just got no clicks. And, my editor and the team they have no interest in covering, music going forward. So I'm constantly like losing platforms and losing opportunities and trying to make it up elsewhere. So it's constant research, constant digging. I feel like I'm constantly begging people. I mean, I know that's what PR is.
But still.
It can make you feel pretty lousy on the days where you're just pitching into a void. Then hopefully I get a win, I get something, and I'm like, oh, thank God, I like question my whole, career choice and path going forward. And then I get like a hit and I'm like, oh God, okay, I can keep doing this for now.
Of course. No, I mean, like, I'm not the same as you, but like, I'll still do it. I'll reach out to someone and be like, hey, would you have any interest in coming on this podcast? And they'll be like, what's your listenership? Tell me your demographics. And I'm like, I understand you want to make sure this is worth your time. But if you now tell me no because of who listens to me, I'm not going to act like that doesn't hurt. That isn't like, oh, cool. Sounds good. What metric do I need to meet for you to think I'm worth talking to? It's not, like the most encouraging question to ask yourself.
No, it's really not. Understood, though. I feel that big time. And I do. When I look at, when I'm looking for opportunities, I'm looking at the followings and
you got to make sure it's worth the time.
And who's out there, because my clients are going to care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really try to only bring in opportunities that are substantial and not waste their time on really teeny tiny things, especially like back in the mommy blog era. There were some really teeny tiny platforms out there that I wasn't going to waste my clients' time with just for filler, just to say, oh, we got this.
Yeah.
I want to get them the stuff that's going to have impact and, matter, not try to just,
Well, you talk to someone, right? That's publicity, talking to someone, right?
Talking to someone. It's exposure.
Sure. All press is good press.
Oof, if only. But yeah, but the stigma is real. It still exists. It's so frustrating. It pisses me off. I mean, a couple times a year, there will be a kids' music story on some band, and the opening line is always, finally, kids' music that doesn't make you want to pull your hair out.
Yeah,
or
of course.
Finally, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, why does it have to start with an insult? Why can't we just celebrate a good project? And it constantly happens. I could send you multiple examples.
Yeah.
They open with an insult. I'm like, what is the point of that? And it's like so dated. It is 2025. Maybe in the 90s, that would have been legit. But the family music scene has been exploding.
Yeah.
And over time and time again, even since I started 20 years ago, what I had discovered then versus what's available now, so many new, different generations of parents now are, I think based on what you heard growing up and what your life experience was growing up is what you bring to the music that you created. There's some pretty hip folks making music these days.
There is, yeah.
Or not just, some singer-songwriter that's singing songs at the library. There's some pretty incredible stuff out there.
Yeah, and I think there's always a double-edged sword. Anyone can sit down and record a song at their home. So that means you have the opportunity for more people to make music, which means there's a lot more opportunity for people to make music. That's good and bad. As someone who studied audio engineering and is way too critical of audio quality, you can find some really good stuff on SoundCloud. You can find some stuff where you're like, I'm not trying to be rude, but do something else.
Yes. I think every genre of music has it, yes. Issue.
Yes.
In children's, maybe it's a little more challenging. Because, you have your kid, you're inspired. Yeah. You sing them a song. Oh, the kid loves that song so much. Oh, their parents heard it. They love it so much. I'm going to record the album. And then it ends up in my inbox and I'm like, especially knowing what I'm up against in the media universe, I have to be really strategic about the projects I take on. Me liking it a little bit isn't enough to agree to, take it on.
Yeah. Yep. No, because you've got to, if anyone does anything creative now, not even just kids music, you've got to know what's going to break through the noise, basically, and what's going to make people want to pay attention to it. And I think that's exhausting as a creative person to believe in something and hope that other people will believe in it too. So your job is to find a product that you believe in, that you trust that that person believes in it, and then try to convince other people to believe in it also. In a world in which there's 5 million options for every single second of the day.
A world in which good luck getting somebody's attention.
Basically. You just sit there and you're like, I'm proud of this. Would you please also try? Maybe just a little bit? Thank you.
Maybe
Goodbye.
Just listen. Maybe just respond to my email to let me know that I exist. And that
just
I'm
tell
not
me just a
an
no.
imaginary person doing this all day. I love a no.
I love a no.
Love a no.
I know it's healthy.
I respect a no.
Yes.
You took a look. It's not for you. You gave me a communication. How hard is a no?
Apparently very hard.
I can't tell you how many emails and communications I send out a day. And there will be days in a row, nothing. Just no response whatsoever. Even people that I have good rapport with, it can be so disheartening, and I get very depressed.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll get very low. It's a tough job. There's a lot of people who have left this career for good reason.
Yeah. Well, I'm also
for the faint of heart.
I'm going to assume that the letdown you have from that is because you have chosen artists that you genuinely believe in. That you genuinely are like, hey, these people are doing things differently than what you're used to. And it is beautiful and it is great. And I would assume it's because you want your clients to be lifted up and actually be shown, the light shown on them, to be like, look how good this is. Don't you realize how different family music can be? And so this gets you out there. And when someone just doesn't respond to your email, you're like, you guys are missing out. And I'm tired of trying to make you realize that. So just pay attention. Notice this.
1,000%. 1,000%. If you're on my roster and you're somebody I'm working with, I really believe in you.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't sell something that I've tried. I can't sell something that I don't truly in my heart love. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I have to love it. It has to fit multiple criteria. I have to absolutely love it. I have to see the vision. I have to see the pathways of who else out there is going to get this and appreciate it and want to play it or want to book it or want to write about it. I have to have the time to do it. It's just me. I'm a one-woman operation.
Dang,
I'm a mom. I have 2 kids who are quite demanding of my time.
Yeah.
I have a dog.
And I think
have to figure out what's for dinner.
Yeah, you have a husband also, right? That you're trying to maintain a relationship.
I have a husband. He exists. I do need to maintain that relationship. He's somewhere on that. It's kids, dog, husband now.
He's in there somewhere.
He's good. We're good. We've got a good thing. It's fine. Been together for 25 years.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, married. We're coming up on our 23rd wedding anniversary.
That's awesome.
I got married very young.
Yeah. That's great. My parents got married very young. They're still together. It's possible. You can make a good decision as a teenager or in your early 20s, apparently.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we met in college, and it was kind of like do we try to start our lives and then, kind of come back to this, or do we just get married and figure the rest out from there? So that's what we did. It was not easy.
No, of course
We
not.
had some very hard times.
Yes.
But we prevailed, and here we are.
That's awesome.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, that's great. So you work with a lot of basically independent artists. That means like I don't want to underplay, or I just want to highlight how much work you must have to do to vet your clients. Because like I don't feel like you're going through record labels where record labels already signed on to the quality of the work. So you are probably going through like who's in the sphere, who's out there, who's an independent artist, in which I can believe in also. But like I feel like normally record labels already promoted someone or can give you like that, here's all this. And you're probably working directly with the artist to be like, hey, I believe in you, or hey, not the right time and stuff like that. That is a ton of work, and you have to know what you're looking for, and that's to be very well developed in yourself to meet that standard. That's a lot of work. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, committing to a new project is always really scary.
Yeah.
It's if I give that yes out, that means that person is now going to live in my brain, and I'm going to be constantly worried about it and stressed about it and what I owe this person. If you're paying me money, I need to deliver. And there have been projects that I have not been able to deliver on, and it kills me. I literally lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
So I have over the years maybe gotten tighter and more clear about my vision. Maybe when I first started my company, I was a little more wide open. I wanted people to trust me. I started working with a bunch of different artists, but that was 10 years ago. And I have now kind of figured out more what works for me, what I'm looking for, what excites me. It's evolved for sure. But, and I do get to work with some bigger projects. Record labels bring me in as a ringer, to help as a specialist in the field, which can be very fun. And I've gotten to work some really large. I worked with John Legend last year, which was
that's
insane.
Cool. That's not bad.
That was really cool. And I got to work with one of the Wiggles a couple of years ago. Cool. And I did Peppa Pig and I did Bluey, and those were insane. Yeah. So yes, they had monstrous machines behind them, and I was there to just sprinkle some extra knowledge about what's out there and how can they connect better, which is fun. It's a little less pressure. It's also a different kind of insane pressure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love my people. I love like my family of artists. I feel like there's a mutual respect among everyone. I love them. There's just some incredible talent out there. And it surprises me when I find new people and I hear something that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Still, people coming up with something completely original. There's a lot of the same stuff out there. And people will come into the genre not having done the research and think that they've done this incredible new thing that has never existed before. And I'm like, do the research. Go back and listen to what some other folks are doing, especially like if you're leaning towards a specific mission or a specific genre. Put the work in and see what other folks have done already. Don't maybe come in overinflated that you're the greatest answer to something. I've had clients that come at me that way, and it's a red flag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like, there's not really any scenarios in my life in which I walk into and like, I'm the first person to ever do this. It's like, no. Your voice is unique. Your way to approach it is unique. The solution isn't that unique. And you need to be aware of, just be more in tune with your authenticity and why you think you should be saying it. But yeah, if you think you're the answer, I don't know of any scenario in which I've walked into it assuming I'm the answer, and it's led to a good connecting result ever in my life.
Yeah, I had an experience a couple of years ago where somebody came in that hard, and I should have known then and there, I'm not going to satisfy this person.
Yes, yeah, because that's the issue. Yeah.
And I didn't walk away, and I should have. And yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work, and it was a shame, and I felt so guilty. But there was also like the expectations were so high, so I do try to set very, very clear expectations when I start with a new client and let them know what we're up against and what my vision is and what I hope we can accomplish. But, it's PR. There's never any guarantees.
No.
This radio show might just not like it, or they might not think you're the right sound, and if you have something specific you're going after, get to know what that is before you just expect them to accept you just because.
Or maybe your episode or story dies on the editing board because something else came up. And that's not because of you. That's just because something else happened and they're trying to figure out how to get people to pay attention to them. And and that moment, that editor didn't think it was you. And it happens. It's just part of life in this world.
It's so hard, man. There's times when that happens and it's so crushing.
Yeah, because it is.
It's so crushing. We had, I did this huge project for Audible one year.
Yeah.
It was I was so excited. We're launching. It was going to be this whole big thing. And it launched in March of 2020.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
It was too early in the pandemic for it to be hitting that note of parents looking for cool things to do at home with your kids and people being sweet and creative. It was just the terror and panic phase.
Yep.
And we it just never happened.
Yeah.
And it was so devastating. But then Go Banana Go did happen because I had pitched it and NPR was like, something you can put on at home while you're going stir crazy with your kids. That came a couple months later. And I was like,
yep,
thank God. So that was Go Banana Go's launch into the universe, which was epic and amazing.
Right? Yeah. I mean, especially with music and creativity, so much of it is all right, culturally, what happened the same week you sent out the press release? And that I'll always be intrigued to see I'm not going to try to dive into music too much, but Nirvana, if you listen to Nirvana now, you're oh, it's just a rock band. And 1990, 1991, Nirvana was oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. Now it's just pretty standard. So so much is cultural, so much is who got there first, who had one disc jockey who loved them, so played them constantly. And you're just there as a creative type being well, I'm just going to make this creative product and love it and try to be authentic. And if you want to come along with me, that'd be great because I would love to make money doing this. But we'll see what happens.
Exactly. You got to find your champions, always. Everybody does.
Yeah. So, okay. Since you do own a small company and it seems like it takes up a ton of your mental space, what's a way you try to figure out how to be present for your daughters and for your family? Or is it just a constant battle of, oh man, I'm mentally in 20 different places?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've had to do a lot of back and forth on that. I think I wobble between being inundated in my brain to being, okay, enough of this. I'm going to be there. I really try to be there for them when they need me. Maybe my work day is a little shorter because when they're home, I want to be available for them. But I also need the time when they're home by the end of the night to kind of start unwinding myself. Even though I work from home, I don't really get a lot of me time.
Yeah, of course.
I kind of just sit here all day long in silence. I don't even listen to music when I work. I kind of just sit here. I mean, I do some things for my own mental health. I have a group of women that I walk with every morning.
Good.
A couple local moms. There's about 6 of us and we have a text chain, and whoever is available on any said morning, we meet on the corner at 8:30. We do this 3.5 mile walk. We're back at 9:30. We all split off.
That's awesome.
And go on with our days. And so that's a huge, huge thing for me because it's exercise, it's fresh air, it's socialization. I really, really, really value that. So I make sure that I have been exercised and socialized, and because if I'm not as good of a me for them. I know what I need for myself. But it really kind of depends on where I'm at and what's going on in my personal life, how hard the struggles are at home, which has been, very up and down. We lost my mother last year, or this year, my gosh. Yeah. But that kind of whole event started, about a year ago. I had a bad concussion about a year ago.
Oh my gosh.
That I'm still having issues from, so whatever's going on at home can vary in terms of how much I need to be here for me, here for them, here for him, versus how much I can give to my work. So I've been a little bit more guarded with me and family,
Yeah.
I think, than I used to be. I think I used to really try to be such a pleaser all the time, especially in the early days of starting my business. You want to grow, you want to be out there, you want to be trusted. This is also probably just age, mid 40s.
Yeah.
Given a few less, I've found my place. I'm comfortable with myself. I'm going to give you what I can give you, and I'm going to let you know when I need to pump the brakes and I need to, be present for here and there.
Yeah. I think it's almost like a better understanding of what boundaries you need to be the best version of yourself, or not even that, just to be able to predict yourself. Like, oh, if I answer 20 phone calls in a row, I'm not going to I'm going to be burnt. I'm going to be fried. Like, okay, well, cool. Let's spread out your calls during the day. Let's do that. But like, yeah, 20-year-old me would be like, I need to say yes to everything. Or even 30, like early 30s me was like, I need to say yes to everything because a no means I'm denying an opportunity. And what if, especially with music stuff, what if that no would have been the doorway to the next thing? What if a no shuts someone out of my life that I could have needed? And I think I actually talked to Jim of Go Banana Go about that a lot of like, hey, we don't need to go to every show. You don't need to see everything. So just be more in tune with what you like and what actually inspires you and give energy to that as opposed to anyone who offers you a free ticket.
Right. I know. I got offered a free ticket to a musician that I absolutely love. My friend texted me at 6:00 on Sunday and said she had a +1 for a 10 p.m. show Sunday night.
10 p.m. on a Sunday?
And I was like,
no,
girl, I love you. I love him. No. Like, I'm on my couch. I'm going to be deeper in my couch, or I'm going to be in bed. Like, I don't have that in me right now. Of course, 10, 20 years ago, I would have been like, let's
Absolutely.
go.
Do you want drinks before? Let's go get drinks
right.
before.
Are we getting together before?
Yeah.
After party?
Yeah.
But I've said this before in an interview, but one of my clients, Pierce Freelon, he taught me this great thing that his grandmother used to say, no is a love word.
Oh, yeah.
Which I just love. I love that so much. It's, one of my mantras is like the power of no.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 all the time. The second you say no to something, you're just released, and it's freedom. And you are not obligated to do, just because somebody asks you to do something, you're no obligated. Like, you are the power of you.
Yeah.
And saying no to something is a gift to yourself and protecting yourself. And I believe that so much. It's not going to make other people happy.
Sure doesn't.
People don't like it when you say no.
Yeah.
I face a lot of that, but I know what I need for me, and I've absolutely embraced no.
Yeah.
I love it.
Someone told me that, like, you've set up your boundaries, discussing boundaries, you assume it's for other people, but they're for you. Because, like, another person is always going to push your boundaries because they want to see what the wiggle room is, because they still think a need can be met in that way. And I feel like once you realize, like, this boundary is for me, it's so I can be the best version of me. And that's the negotiation. It's you being like, this is how I'm the best. And someone says, well, I don't like that. And you're like, I've done a lot of work to find out what makes me the best version of me. And I'm not going to do away with that just because you want me to. I'm sorry. Like, ugh.
It's true. It's true. People, will argue with me about why I need to do this or why this is the right thing. But I have to go with, my gut constantly, know, and like I've said before, when I don't go with my gut, I pay for it pretty much all of the time.
Yep. And that's exhausting. And that has a unique level of shame that you have to deal with your own self.
That's really interesting. I've never actually thought about that. It's true. You're like, why didn't I listen to myself?
Yeah.
Why didn't I go with my gut?
Why didn't I prioritize myself? Yeah.
It happens all the time. But that's interesting. Never really thought about that as shame, but it's absolutely what it is.
It feels like shame to me. Yeah, because you're mad at yourself, you're disappointed in yourself, and then you still have to do the work. And you're like, I don't want to do any. Like, oh man, if I would have just understood my intuition in the moment, what if I would have avoided all of this? And I have some conflict avoidant tendencies. So yeah, let's just say the no beforehand and avoid all that.
I've also gotten better about taking my time before I respond to something. I used to be so reactive.
Yeah.
And now I'm even trying to teach my kids this. Like, something lit you up, take a beat, sit back, think about it, sleep on it. Your opinion, your words, your response might change.
Yeah.
Don't respond when you're all aflame or all upset.
Yeah.
Or whatever it might be. Give it a minute, take a beat. They can wait.
It can. I usually try to tell myself like, all right, if something makes me, if my initial reaction is like anger, sadness, or something like that, I try not to lead with that emotion, but more be like, okay, what value of yours is out of alignment here that made you mad or made you sad? And how do you get with that? Because, like, I mean, it's hard to know how to deal with anger. It's hard to know how to deal with sadness and depression. So to me, it's like there's a reflection of some value I have that's being pushed in some way. So how do I get
Yeah.
more in tune with like a value or something like that? And then I'll communicate out of that value as opposed to communicate out of my anger, but still try to respect my anger and disappointment at the same time.
Wow, that's great.
I'm not good at it. I'm just telling you what my
You've
idea.
done a lot of work on yourself. I'm
Hopefully.
impressed.
But though, because like if my kids are like, oh, I'm really mad about this, I'm like, hey, you being mad is a good thing to know. Maybe don't punch your brother. But if you're really mad about this, it's because you probably think something is unfair or you were wronged in some way. And it's good to know what makes you feel wronged, because that's going to be a roadmap to what you need to do for your next step. But also, I understand wanting to be a little brother and someone punches you and you just punch them in the face back. And you're like, no, you can't. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sure. I know. I don't get to punch anybody. Jeez.
No, exactly. So how I end every episode is I ask every guest a series of 5 questions. They're pretty lighthearted and pretty fun. And the first question is, did you have any backup names for your daughters? Like, did you have any names you almost named them?
Did we? I wanted to name my firstborn Miri.
Miri?
Yeah, I had heard it.
Like not Mary, but Miri?
Miri, Miri.
Okay.
It was that movie, Zach and Miri Make a Playlist or something.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And I was like, that's cool. I like that a lot. And I was like really pushing it. And my husband was like, my parents will never understand it. He was like, they'll never get it right. They'll never be able to spell it right. And he was like, please no.
That's a valid point though, is
Zach and Mary make a porno. That's what it was. Zach and Mary make a porno.
I think you were thinking, oh man, now I have to look up the excellent playlist one. I remember that movie.
Oh yeah, the music was good. It was a fun movie.
Yes.
It was Rogan, right? Before, as Rogan and Elizabeth Banks, I think.
Maybe. Anyway. Nick and Nora. Do you mean Nick and Nora's
No, Nick and Nora
playlist?
is where I ended up getting my daughter's name.
Okay,
We're very movie people and we're music people. So my daughter's name is Nora. So we went with Nora and I liked it. It was kind of sounded old school and biblical and we're not religious or anything, but
but still,
I liked it. It was soft and lovely.
Yes.
So we went with Nora for her. And my other one, no, I think we kind of just picked her name early on.
Okay. And it was like, this is it.
But boys, we were totally perplexed. We had no idea what we were going to do for boy. We like had names, but we were not committed. And we didn't find out what we were having with my firstborn. So I was kind of terrified if it was a boy. I was like, oh my God, we're going to actually have to pick a name.
Yeah.
And I don't really like any of these names.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was going to be Owen. I think that was the lead. Owen.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay.
I just didn't I couldn't find one that I liked. And then when we found out for the second and it was going to be a girl, I was like, okay, great. We'll find a girl's name.
That's fine. Well, like having chosen 2 girl names and then a boy name, I feel like girl names can be like whimsical. They can be fun. They can be playful. With a boy name, you either go predictable, like Matthew, Michael, whatever, or you do slightly weird, like Devin with an O, in which your name is mispronounced for the rest of your life as Devon. So you either do slightly quirky or very traditional, I feel like, for boys. And it's like, all right, girls are a lot more fun to name and choose out names for.
But yeah, I agree.
So also, I love the thought of you potentially naming one of your daughters after the name in which the name of the movie title was Make a Porno. And you didn't think that's why your husband didn't want to go with the name. I would love to ask him that question and have him be like, yeah, I told her it's because my parents wouldn't be able to spell the name, but really I just didn't want her named after something that said make a porno at the end of it.
Just thought it sounded cool.
It does sound cool.
Well, I never liked my name. I always thought my name sounded like pretentious and like a country club girl. Like, it was like very 80s. Stephanie was like the mean girl, like the rich mean girl or something. I was always changing my name and when we were playing games and stuff.
Really?
I wanted to be like Samantha or something. Like being Stephanie.
Next question. Do you have a favorite movie or TV mom?
I'm sure I do movie-wise, but I can't think of any. I just finished watching The Summer I Turned Pretty because my daughter made me.
Yeah.
Kind of dug Laurel.
Okay.
I kind of liked Laurel. I thought she was a good mom. I could relate to her mostly. Yeah, I'm kind of coming up dry on
It's okay. You can go with her.
thoughts.
You can go with the Some Return Pretty
I'm
Mom.
gonna go with the last thing I watched.
That's fair.
I'm also watching Task, and there's nobody good in that.
Are there any mother figures in that? I don't.
Yes, there are.
I've only watched the
they're,
pilot
like,
so far.
part of gangs and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like if
It's not a
someone's
good
like,
situation.
my favorite dad is from Succession. And it's like, no one's a good father. Like,
There's no redeemable
there's
people
no redeemable
on
people.
that
Not
show
you're entertained
whatsoever.
by them, but you're also like, I would never want to be around
Right.
any of these people.
Well, my favorite like character on TV right now is Rose Byrne in Platonic.
Okay, yeah.
But she's a terrible mother. She's never there. She's always out screwing around with Seth Rogen. But like, I just want to be the two of them. I just want to be her,
Just wanna hang out
dressed
with
like
them.
her, hanging out with him, getting up to their shenanigans.
Yeah,
But no,
that'd be
she's
great.
not a very good mom.
No. It's
really
I always love that question because you can see someone's darkness and playfulness immediately because some people are like, oh, Walter White, he did everything for his family. Everything was, and you're like, I mean, that was what he believed his intentions were, and that is correct.
That's really funny. All right, I'm gonna have some more fun thinking about that
Yes,
later.
good. Okay, next question. What's your go-to replacement curse word? Like whenever you stub your toe, something like that, and you're about to say a word, what word do you say as a replacement one, or do you say the curse word?
Curse a lot in front of my kids. It's bad.
It's a common answer. You're not alone in cursing.
I kind of stopped caring somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
I tried not to for a while. And now, like, I'll just full on do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll get a fudge.
Okay, yeah.
Or a shoot.
Why would you say a fudge instead? Because it's if like some part of you is like, hey, Steph, come on.
Sometimes I'll edit, but probably 90% of the time I just don't.
That's right. Also,
my dad cursed in front of me.
Yeah.
We're very big cursers.
Okay.
I let my teenager curse now.
Yeah.
Which is fun, But I did, you know what? I was in the car with her the other day and I was talking and I was just throwing the F's in, like, as my conversation, as if I was talking to my friends, because I curse a lot.
Yeah.
And she was like, why are you cursing so much? And I was like, oh.
My bad.
Sorry.
I was comfortable.
You're right. I'll edit myself a little bit more. She's like, you just don't need to like use it like that much. I'm like,
well, whenever you feel like your kid has the better moral compass than you in some moments.
I was like, she clocked me. She'll do the clock thing they do.
No, I don't.
Is it one finger or two finger?
Listen, luckily they aren't there yet to know trends and to understand
the brain
them.
rot stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane. Every day she comes home with a new one.
Yeah.
It's been this lately. And I'm like
the heart thing,
hearts.
like South
hearts.
Korea, like K-pop hearts, yeah.
Yeah.
That one
hearts
I know.
And clocked. Yeah, if they like.
Oh, because they actually clocked you for it. Okay.
Yeah, it's insane, the words. I'm like, stop saying these things just because other people say them. They're not real things. Like, it was a couple years ago, she was talking about like, that's so aesthetic. And I was like, full stop.
I'm sorry, what?
That is not how that word is used. You could say, I like the aesthetic, but you can't say that's so aesthetic.
Did she then say, Mom, you're being sus afterwards or something like that?
Ugh, the sus. And it's just crazy. Because, the 10-year-old, she's not on socials, but she picks it all up at school, and she picks it all up from the 16-year-old.
Yeah.
So they're just throwing these ridiculous things back and forth. And
do you ever, I always try to think of like what slang words were whenever I was a teenager, and I can't think of like anything.
It was lame. It was like, dude.
Yeah, it was like cowabunga. It was like catchphrases from TV shows.
Psyched.
Yeah, I'm psyched about this.
Yeah, which
I bro.
Yeah,
like stuff like that.
We had a lot of. I remember my parents like saying like, "I'm not your dude. I'm not a dude." Like
yeah.
Like,
I'm not your bro, bro.
Cool. We said cool too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, that it's exponential now. There's actually a guy I follow on social media. He's a teacher.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. But every week he checks in. He's like, okay, here's the top things that they're saying this week. And he like tries to like break them down and identify them, like the 6, 7 like thing.
Yeah, I still don't know what that means.
He's like rating number 1. It's still 6, 7, 6, 7. Like,
that's amazing. And also, I need to find that account now because that's probably very appreciated.
Oh, you got to find him. He's great. I'm going to see if I can find it. I'll forward it to you. He cracks me up because it gives me. And then I'll ask them. I'll be like, so what's 40? And they'll be like, what do you know about that? And I'll be like, but what is it?
But yeah, then you're like, you feel like you're a teenager again, walking in trying to be like, yeah, I'm a cool person here.
Right.
Yeah. I understand how it works.
Hello,
fellow children. Oh man. Probably the best obscure 30 Rock reference of all time.
I love it. I love
It's
it
so
so
good.
much. I know. And that's like, I'd like to think I'm cool. I like to think I'm a cool mom,
Yeah.
but I'm sure I'm coming off corny a lot of the time.
I know a lot of references. Whether or not they're relevant is a different discussion, but I can reference a lot of things. Whether or not my kids care or anyone cares, I think is a different discussion.
My pop culture knowledge is like through the roof. My
Boom,
friends
up here.
like they ask me, they're like, you should be on Pop Culture Jeopardy or whatever the show is. Like, I always know the actor's name or the thing they were in. Although I need to start like taking some like creatine or whatever it's called because my memory
to help
is
the brain.
to, I can't. I'm getting to the point where like I can't find that word. I can't find that name, and it's getting. So I go through the process of describing who that person is or the thing that they were in.
And the thing with
I can't remember the name of the show that they were in either. So I have to say this guy was in that show, and it was about this. And then I'm trying to find the girl who was in the show. It's getting really bad.
It was in like the mid '90s. Mama wasn't alive then. I know you weren't alive then, but maybe you would have seen it on somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay, next question. What's one of like your favorite activities to do with your daughters?
I love like all the little holiday traditions.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I really look forward to like our annual on Sunday we decorated the house for Halloween. And I know how much they love to do that.
Yeah.
And like we went out and got a couple of fresh decorations and we got everything out of the basement. And my kids just love Halloween. Every year my husband makes a Halloween fan film with my daughters.
What?
He's a video producer and editor.
That's
awesome.
So
we have these like legit Halloween movies. I'll send you the link to them.
I'm fascinated. Yes.
They're pretty incredible. I gotta say, we've done it every year for quite a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
So we really love Halloween. And my husband was like, I'm so tired. Like I just
this is a lot.
Like, outside. I was like, get your butt up. We're decorating the house for Halloween outside.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take that long, but it's just like a family tradition. And I love, we just went through the high holidays and, we're not very religious. We don't go to temple or anything, but I love having the meal, talking about what the holiday is, why we celebrate it, those kinds of moments, going to my sister's house for Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool.
Getting that perfect plate of food. Like those are that's like the biggest like heartwarming moments, I think.
Yeah. That's sweet. I'm going to ask this question. I hope it's not too personal. Do those traditions and everything feel different since losing your mom? Do they feel like a different priority in your head?
So I've lost both my parents.
You have? Okay. Yeah.
I lost my dad in 2018.
Okay.
And then I just lost my mom this year.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been pretty brutal.
Yeah. That is.
Still finding my way through it. These were the first, kind of high holidays without my mom. And we did the last year we did it at my mom's house, and she kind of knew that it was going to probably be her last one.
Mm-hmm.
It is tough. It's tough just not sharing, not having the same tradition, trying to process all that and the missingness,
Yeah, absolutely.
We sold the family house. We don't have home anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's no home at home. Like when I go home, I'm not going home. I'm going to stay at my sister's house. It's all so different. And it's really, it's hard. I'm doing good. Ish. I think going through it once already made me more prepared for it. I think the first one was so devastating and crushing.
Yeah.
My dad was diagnosed with lung cancer and died 10 months later.
Man, yeah.
Whereas my mom had cancer for 17 years.
Okay.
So it was a really long battle, and there were lots of close calls, and she kind of went above and beyond where they ever expected for her. So I think we had more time to mentally prepare for her, whereas my dad's was just like the guy who never called out of work sick once was just like erased and gone. And it was like so jarring, where for her, we kind of had more time to, understand.
Accept it. Yeah. Yeah. I only asked that because my mom told me that whenever her mom or dad passed away, holidays is whenever it hit. Because you have the initial shock, you have the initial like, man, this is awful. I have a great loss. And then it's the first Christmas or first Thanksgiving. And that's whenever you go through it all again. So that's all.
I just had to ask my sister. I was like, you are doing Thanksgiving? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, are you up for it? And
Yeah.
she was like, of course, we're doing Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Thank
Like
goodness.
I need that, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't expect other people to provide just for me and what I
Yeah,
need,
of course. Yeah.
So if my sister had said to me, you know what, like, I don't think I can do it this year, like
Yeah.
I would have been devastated, but
Yep.
of course I would
Would
understand,
understand. Yep.
we're all working through this in our own ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's very true.
Okay, last question is as you think about like your daughter's lives, is there any moment you're really excited for them to experience or like a walk of life you're excited for them to like walk through and to see them come into on their own?
That's a good one. I'm really excited for my oldest to kind of get out and see the world a little more.
Yeah.
I think college is going to be great for her. We live in a really small town.
Hmm.
Her school is pretty small. There's not a whole lot of guy options.
I
There's,
gotcha. Yeah.
the friend groups are, so, it's just competitive is the wrong word, but
Yeah.
limited, I guess is the
Limited.
word.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think being on a campus
Hmm.
and seeing some more vastness and all different kinds of people, being able to be a part of lots of different things will
Yeah.
be really great for her. We sent her to Scotland last summer. Her school does
That's cool.
they have a really great theater program, and they got
Yeah.
invited to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival to perform. And I was like, go.
Yeah.
She was like, I want you to come be like a chaperone. I was like, nope.
Yeah.
You're going to go and you're going to have an experience, and mommy's not going to be there to hold your hand, and you might have to work through a couple things on your own, but like, I want you on your own,
Yeah.
free and independent to kind of have that experience. And I think that's really important for them to find their identity. I studied abroad in high school for a semester, and
Cool.
then I did a semester in London when I was in college. And I do really believe that helped me become a little bit more of a stronger and independent person.
Yeah. I think that's the hope of like college to me is like, when did I first start really forming my own identity was probably undergrad because it was you're on your own. You aren't like, you don't have the same safety nets that you did before. You still have some, but it's drastically different. And that's whenever you actually like test yourself in a way to find out like, oh, who are you? What do you care about? What, like, who do you think you actually are? Because you've told yourself who you are for a bit, but now let's go test it a little bit.
I couldn't agree more. My freshman year was like a real
Yeah.
call to, I found myself hanging out with the wrong group of kids. They were kind of dropping out left and right. I kind of had to do a check-in with myself. Who am I? What am I
Yeah.
here for? I want to stay here. I want to
Yeah.
make this work. What do I want this to be? I like wound up cutting myself off from this group
Hmm.
and just kind of totally shifting gears and realizing like what I needed to make this work and what I needed for myself and
Yeah.
how it was going to work. And it was the first time I kind of really was like, you know what? Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm worth this. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. Let's go that way.
Yeah. Because you can't really do that like in high school. Because like, I mean, my high school wasn't that
No,
big. So if I
where are
would
you
have been
going
like,
to go?
I'm not going to talk to these people anymore, it's like, then you have to change schools. That's the
Yeah,
only way to do
exactly.
it. College
It's
campus,
true. It's
you just
true.
walk, you eat at different times. Like it's a lot easier to follow through with those decisions whenever you're in college.
Yeah. You join a different club.
Yeah.
You take a different class.
Do all
Yeah,
that stuff. So
exactly.
only other thing is that just moment for self-promotion. If we want to find out more about like the musicians you represent, promote yourself. I'm sure you have no idea how to do this as a publicist, how to promote anything, right? So some self-promotion if you would.
Self-promotion. Okay. So my company is Mayors Consulting, and my website is mayorsconsulting.com. And there you will find information on all the bands that I work with and represent. I have a booking roster of bands that perform all around the country. They could come to your town if you have a great venue that does family programming. And on my projects page, you'll see all the new albums out from the people that I'm working with currently or recently, and a long list of people that I've worked with since I've been doing this. You can find kids' music on some great radio shows if you're not already listening to them. Maybe check out Spare the Rock, Spoil the Child. That's a great radio show from
What?
my longtime friend and colleague, Bill Childs. We've been working together for 20 years. He
Yeah.
recently found the first email I ever sent him when I was working at that music venue in Philly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just found your show and it seems like we have a lot of the same interests and I think we could really
Let's
work
connect
together. Let's connect. We're actually about to have a part. We do these parties. We call it Hoot Nanny.
Yeah.
And it's like for the kids music community and we all kind of get together and play music together. And we're doing one this month and it's our 20th anniversary. So
that's awesome.
We should get on stage and read the emails.
That'd be awesome.
But there's Spare the Rock, Spoil the Child. There's Saturday Morning Cereal Bowl. There's the Children's Hour. There's the Kids Show that's out of New Orleans, WTUL. I'm trying to think of all these great kids radio shows. Double Dip Recess. You can listen to all of them online. Kids Corner on WXPN. That's one of the longest running shows with Kathy O'Connell.
Yeah.
I won a savings bond from her.
Did you really?
When I was a kid. That's how long she's been doing it.
That's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, kids radio, highly recommend. A great place to discover new family music. Sirius XM has Kids Place Live. They play some great stuff, and just get out and see who's in your town and who's performing. And I definitely, encourage you to put stuff on for your kids that they might not just be hearing, and test it out and see what they're looking for. There's the cool thing about children's music is yes, children's music is genre. But there's every genre under the sun of children's music.
Yeah, there's
bluegrass, there's hip hop, there's jazz, there's pop. It really is like every single genre of music. So if that's your genre, find the kids' music of that genre and put that on. You like folk and bluegrass, listen to the Okie Dokie Brothers. You like, hip hop and some jazz, listen to Fuge, listen to Pierce, listen to Divinity Rocks. You like pop music, my goodness, the pop-ups and new artist, a Bug Friend. There's some just amazing stuff out there. And yeah, I really truly believe in our universe, and I hope more people give it attention.
And also, I know you've been nice enough to send me a lot of the people you represent, and learning the story behind the music, like John Davidson with Johnny Longlegs is this is music I was singing to my kids, and started actually making it a real thing. There's, for a lot of the musicians you represent, there's always a really cool story behind why they're writing the music that they're writing. And once you realize how deeply personal it is to them and how much they just want to be in their kids' headspace and then share it with the world. And it's just, I think every parent should be more aware of what their kid's headspace is and trying to understand it. So
I couldn't
your
agree
music
more.
helps me with
look
that.
at Megaran, who is a game composer and rapper who was fostering a child and was so inspired and wrote a whole children's album.
Yeah.
And then he fell in love with him and adopted him. And now he just wrote a new album to his now son. The stories, that was a great story.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for a great story.
Yes.
That was a good one. But it's true. There's usually some great motivation behind it. Pierce Freelon, his mother is Nina Freelon, the 7-time, nominated jazz singer. And his father was Phil Freelon, the notorious architect who built the African American Museum in Smithsonian in DC.
Seriously?
Yeah. He comes from just this cultural gold mine. There's just so many great stories out there, and people's histories and what's behind it bring forth this art. It's all art.
Yeah. Because it is.
It's really cool.
But anyway, hey, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, no, this was great. This was super fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And I'll follow up with an email. And thank you so much, Stephanie.
Cool. All right.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Imperfect Dads Podcast, and make sure to subscribe and rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to us, such as Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. The music is provided by The Wild Feathers, and all episodes are produced by me. Make sure to tune in Mondays for new episodes.